lot of work to do on the house. That's gonna help me.
Call meeting to order. Oh, please rise. And Nancy, join me in a moment of reflection on a business that's before us this evening. Please join me to pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Alderman Basso.
Here.
Alderman Violet.
Here.
Alderman Clifford.
Here.
Alderman Key.
Here.
Alderman Kromarski.
Here.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Here.
Alderman McGovern. Alderman McGrogan.
Here.
Mayor, City Clerk, and Treasurer are present.
All right. No special presentations that I'm aware of tonight. Under the consent calendar, I've got the approval and minutes of the City Council meeting from December 15th, 2020, along with the approval of the payroll and voucher list for the period ending December 31st, 2020.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Clifford, or second. Second by Alderman Kromarski. Discussion. Roll call.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGovern. I'm sorry, Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
No sealed bids tonight?
No bids.
The end of my remarks this evening, we gather here tonight with heavy heart. As you know, we lost one of our fellow aldermen over the last week or so. Alan Fulkerson had served this council for 22 years as an alderman, ending the second longest term of anyone who served on the council. You know, he's did a lot of things here. You know, for the most part, he transformed Channel 4 from basically a PowerPoint presentation with some music that played 24 hours a day to a vibrant station, probably the premier cable access station in the southwest suburbs, if not the Chicago metropolitan area. And I think we've got a lot to thank him for on that. He also, you know, chaired the finance committee during those years and got us from, was a leader in getting us to a state of financial stability and really got us through some tough times. And you know, we've been fortunate for the last 18 years to run at a surplus, and a lot of it has to do with his guidance as the chairman of the finance committee. And then again, also, you know, he was kind of our ad hoc zoning authority in many cases. You know, issues would come up, and his background as a lawyer and being here for so many years in town, you know, gave us some insights as far as zoning issues and how they could you know, impact the city. But you know, even before he became an alderman, you know, he served the city on the planning commission for a number of years, and some of you may or may not remember that he actually one time ran for city clerk back in the early 90s. I remember that, and that was quite an accomplishment. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. You know, I probably knew him a little bit different than a lot of other people. You know, I knew him for 40 plus years. You know, he was as a friend and a neighbor. He lived 2 hours down from me. You know, our kids grew up together. They're about the same age. They went through different schools, but they hung out together. We babysat for each other's back and forth. His wife would work and my wife would work. They would kind of cover for each other when someone was needed. And you know, Madeline stayed with his late wife Susan in her last couple of days of her life, some 13 years ago. So you know, and you know, that you know, obviously was one of the devastating things to Alan's life. You know, was the loss of Susan. It meant a lot to him and to the family. So you know, he will be missed, and you know, that's really all I can say at this time. I mean, but you know, he devoted his life to the city. I mean, how much, you know, for a life of you know, 70 plus years, probably 25 to 30 of those were given, you know, in service to the city of Palos Heights, and we'll keep him in our prayers going forward, and his family. I talked to the boys. I met with them last week right after it happened, and you know, they're you know, told him anything we can do to help him out. You know, we're all here for him, and going forward, just you know, again, keep him in our prayers, and you know, just keep him in our hearts too. So, thank you. I've got a letter here. We got. I'm sorry. I had a meeting last Monday with President Preckwinkle's office, a number of the mayors and the Southwest Conference of Mayors and the South Suburban Mayors and Managers met with the staff from the Department of Public Health as far as this vaccination update. Just so you know, right now they're in phase 1 of the vaccination, which is healthcare professionals and long-term care facilities. And the next one would be phase 2, which would be first responders. After phase 1, will be teachers, grocery workers, people who are over 74 years old, okay? And then people after that would be seniors who are 65 to 74. It's just kind of a ballpark in a meeting. The guess was that the normal senior, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because we are getting some calls here at City Hall. Someone who's not over 74, but in that group of 65 to 74, you're probably talking a February date as far as any vaccination. Now, what I've done is I've had our people post on our website the latest communication we've got from the Department of Public Health from Cook County, who's going to run the vaccination program. So if any information we get from time to time will be updated on our website. And if not, if you have any direct questions, you can contact the Cook County Department of Public Health. That's who will be running the vaccination. Short of that, also individuals who have some questions, you may want to check with your primary care physician too for any input, as far as where you may stand in the order of vaccination. It's somewhat, unfortunately, it's somewhat vague sometimes, and I apologize, but those are the answers we get on some bigger organizations sometimes. So, again, just check our website, and they'll give you the information you need. I got a thank you letter from La Rabida Children's Hospital for our donation through the Lions Club last time, and on behalf of the La Rabida's Children's Hospital of more than 9,000 patients, please accept our heartfelt thanks and generosity for your gift of $500 in support of the Children's Advocacy Center Toy Drive. So goes on a little bit after that, but thank you, Jack, for your guys' efforts, and just want to let you know that we did get thanked from them. So that's all I have tonight. City Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One announcement: the lottery for simultaneous filers for the election will take place tomorrow at 2:30 at City Hall.
All right. City Treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report tonight.
All right. City Attorney, I don't think you had anything tonight. Any communications? Anyone?
Mr. Mayor,
Pronsky?
I would just like to extend my sympathy also to the Fulkerson family, the Dahl family, and the Temple family. I worked with Alan for 20 of those years. Sometimes we didn't always agree, but I will say Alan was probably the most forthright and honest person that I've met. You always knew where you stood with Alan. He was very honest. There was never any backstabbing in any way. All the families I mentioned, please accept our deepest sympathy. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Alderman.
I think the remarks you made were very appropriate. Alan, I think, mentored so many of us, taught us the ropes and, the guidance. And, on top of that, as Dee pointed out, and yourself, a great guy. And I want to express my sympathy to his family and his grandkids and his sons and his daughters, the whole Fulkerson family. And, he's really helped the city, as the mayor pointed out. God bless him.
Anyone else? Yes, Alderman.
As long as we're saying that, Alan was a good friend and a mentor to most of us over our terms here, for 20 years plus. And when he took over the Finance Committee back in, I believe it was 2001, from previous Alderman Donick, he took the city in the right direction there, and that's why we're sitting where we're at now and being such a financially stable city was due to his leadership on that committee. He dedicated himself to that. He was always willing to help you out. And when I heard what happened, I knew he was sick. But when I heard that, I was sort of devastated by what happened there. And I'd just like to wish my condolences to the family and thank him and his family, for that matter, of his 30-some-odd years of service, and to the people of Palos Heights, because we all owe him an indebtedness for his leadership. and given us stability here as we stand today. Thank you.
Anyone else? Now move along with the, any citizens' comments?
No.
Okay. The Finance Committee, Alderman McGrogan?
Mr. Mayor, the only thing I wanted to report this evening is that the city administrator, Dan, is working with all the various committees, formulating the budgets, and we'll keep putting those together, and at some point, Dan will have his team present it to the Finance Committee, and then we'll be in here for a vote, hopefully sooner than later. That's all I have.
Very good, thank you. Public Safety, Alderman McGovern?
He has no
No
report at this
report,
time.
okay, great, thank you. Municipal Grounds and Property, Alderman Basto?
Yes, Mayor, I also have no report this evening. I just would like to wish everyone a much better, healthier, safer 2021. And that's the end of my report.
Planning and Zoning, Alderman Clifford?
Due to the holidays, we have no report, but we do have a news item on the corner of Route 83 in Harlem that's back more or less under the drawing board due to the 7-Eleven purchasing Speedway service station. So right now that's on hold, and if there is anything, it'll have to be a rezoning matter on that. So other than that, there's no report, Mr. Mayor.
Recreation, Alderman Key?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report.
Roads and Construction, Alderman Komarski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to thank Public Works for the outstanding job they did in the past snow events. As usual, they've kept the streets clean down to the pavement, so thanks to Public Works. The end of my report.
Thank you. Alderman Lewandowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report.
Water and Sewer, Alderman Violet.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do have a report.
How you do? Yes, you did.
Ben first.
I move to approve partial payment number 2 to Kim Construction for the 2020 sanitary manhole rehabilitation project in the amount of $203,932.01.
Moved by Alderman Violet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Komarski. Discussion. Roll call.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
I also move to approve the purchase of a new sanitary pump for the Westgate North Lift Station from Gasvoda and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $12,950. This lift station is located near the fire station on Ridgeland.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Violet and seconded by Alderman Clifford. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
And finally, I move to approve payment to RJN Group for professional engineering services for the month of November in the amount of $9,503.70.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Violet, seconded by Alderman Clifford. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
And that's the end of my report,
Thanks,
Mr.
sir.
Mayor.
Business and Economic Development, Alderman Key.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Cable TV, I assume no report for
There's
Alderman McGovern.
no report this
Any old
month.
business? Citizens wishing to ask questions on the Zeitz business? Any new business?
Yes, just an item. With the new year, there's a lot of new things going on. And we've had a past election, and we also have a new election coming up, just to make the citizens aware that there is an election coming up on April 6th. So check out, our clerk will get us the dates of early voting. I believe starts on March 28th. Is that correct?
I'm not sure.
I think March 28th through April 5th. Mail-in starts a few weeks before that, but information will be on the website about that. I got some calls on that, so I just mentioned that
Right.
information forthcoming on the website. That's it.
That's
Mr.
it?
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I think maybe all of us could give you a round of applause. I saw somewhere on the internet that our mayor is retired so he could devote more time to working as a mayor of the greatest city, Palos Heights.
Thank you. Just so you know, today I babysat and put in shelves in my son's house, so that was,
You retired well
Yeah,
before
good.
his age.
all right.
Well, I'd like to make one suggestion
Yeah.
under new business. With the passing of a couple notable people in town, Alan and Eddie Dombrowski, I think it might be appropriate if we start maybe look over of adding their name to a couple of these parks around here and memorandum for all they did for the city. I mean, 30 years is something, and to put under there the Alan Lee Fulkerson Community Park, for instance, and Edward Dombrowski Palmer Park, for instance, is a by name under there, a little ceremony and dedication. I think it'd be an honor for his family and for all the hard work that he gave the city.
Yeah, I've got a couple ideas. I'll bring it up in the next couple meetings, so.
Just a thought.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Need a motion to move into executive session
So
for
moved.
personnel? Moved by Alderman Komarski. Hello. Seconded by
Me.
Alderman Clifford. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?